Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoterica and another video in our Atomiswave to Dreamcast game series. We are getting really low on games, there's about 4 left unported, but today we're going to be taking a look at a fun light gun game, if not too exciting, Sega Clay Challenge. This is basically like the clay shooting mode from Duck Hunt, except way more modern. But before we get too far involved, if you could do me a huge favor, go down below and hit like and subscribe and that notification bell. And if you feel so inclined, we have a Patreon link down there as well if you want to support the channel. The Sega Clay Challenge is basically just a competitive light gun game. If you've ever played Big Bug Hunter, if you've ever played any games like this, you're going to really instantaneously know what it's all about. Now, it's the most rudimentary and basic of games as far as the graphics are concerned. You have this actress here just giving you a little bit of an overview. In that really like late 90s, early 2000s, we have to have a girl in the game to attract people. Seems kind of dumb to me, but hey, whatever. But as far as actual gameplay mechanics are concerned, if you like light gun games, this is a lot of fun and it can be very challenging. It's not the most action-packed game whatsoever. This isn't a light gun game where you're going to be shooting aliens or bad guys and kind of getting any sort of story, obviously. But as far as a challenging light gun game to play at home is concerned, I actually really enjoy it, but your mileage is going to vary depending on how much you actually like light gun shooting games. If you've been watching my channel whatsoever, you know I'm a huge fan of the genre and collect them from both consoles and arcade cabinets and boards. So I'm inclined to like something like this. And like I said, Sega Clay Challenge is exactly that. It is challenging, and you have to play this game a lot to be able to get really good at it. It's got an interesting mechanic where you have to worry about when you reload, because your shotgun isn't automatically going to reload for itself. So they've really kind of made it feel like as close as you can get to actual skeet shooting, which I've done a few times, and the gun definitely doesn't reload for you. So in this instance, while it's a weird gameplay mechanic and you have to remember it, it does adhere pretty closely to how a shotgun actually works, which is shotgun shells just don't magically reappear in it like pretty much every other video game. So basically, you have different types of modes, and each clay is emulating a certain animal. Some are going to be ground-based, some are going to be air-based, kind of like a duck, and you're just going to have to track them, worry about the wind, and shoot. And you can see graphically, nothing is amazing about this game. It doesn't look that good, it doesn't sound that good, but the light gun mechanics are what's really fun in this. You can do score attacks, you can do 2, 3, 4 player games with people all on the same light gun, just trading on and off. This works perfectly fine on a Dreamcast. I tested it on my PVM with my Interact light gun, and everything was perfectly fine. You can calibrate the sights in the menu in the game, and then it also gives you another option to calibrate them before you start your first match. So as far as all the light gun games brought over to Dreamcast from Atomiswave, Sega Clay Challenge actually has the best accuracy that I've seen. So if you're missing shots, it's 100% your fault, not the game's fault. Although we always like to blame the game because we were pretty sure we hit that. And I do like that you even get these little bonus stages in between each round. Kind of feels like Big Bug Hunter when you had those bonus challenges as well, shoot the turkeys. I mean, like I said, this game is basic. You can see that the entire, bonus stage is just one photograph digitized and put in as a background layer. This is something that Sega probably made in like 3-4 months just to get something out of the market and probably just earn money. But a credit gives you a 5-tour stage system. Basically, you put in 1 credit and you're going to be playing 5 different rounds. And if you're in arcades, that's not a bad value. Obviously, these being brought over to Dreamcast by MegaVolt 85, you don't have to put quarters in, so it really doesn't matter what you're spending on the game because that is nothing. And I did test this on an optical disc emulator on my Dreamcast. Everything worked fine. I was able to play the game from start to finish. So this isn't really the type of game that you're just going to sit there and play with a huge smile on your face and feel like you're getting an action-packed experience. But this is a great game if you want to compete against yourself for high score, or if you have a couple friends over, have a few beers and decide, hey, let's compete against one another. Because that's why you see all those light gun games in bars, the Big Bug Hunters, things like that. You can play with your friends, you can challenge the high score. That's when these games become fun. But like I said, this isn't the most impressive release to come from the Atomiswave onto the Dreamcast, although the fact that any of these games are running on Dreamcast in the first place is impressive in its own right. And I do like that little replay mechanic when you get the clay at just the right spot, because the way the scoring works, depending on when you hit the clay, your score is going to vary. Sometimes hitting it quicker is going to be good, sometimes letting it recede into the background is going to be better. But you'll see here now, we have different configurations of where these clays are coming from. And you just get a little preview, and then magically they're on the screen. Sometimes you get 1, sometimes you get 2. And if you hit both in a particular pull, you're going to be maximizing your score. And that's kind of the name of the game here, is hit all the clays and hit them at the right time to be able to really up that score. So as far as attack mechanic is concerned, it actually has way more replayability than visually it looks. And like I said, it doesn't look like much of anything, but it is a fun game. And normally I would stop talking and let you guys hear some of the music, some of the sound effects, but it's just kind of birds squawking in the background and really bad digitized shotgun sounds. But you'll see here that when you actually get really good and you start hitting everything, the game feels amazing. We got a perfect stage. And every time that happens, you're going to get one more bonus shot. And we've hit 12 in a row, so we have a 12 multiplier on our score. And that's where this game really becomes interesting. If you drop a few shots, you kind of just want to hit reset and start over again if you're running for that score attack. And again, another bonus stage. Looks like somewhere maybe out in Arizona, somewhere in the desert. Just hit the targets. And like I said, it's really interesting that this game was on Atomiswave. Sega had the Naomi, but they decided to make something for Sammy and the Atomiswave. Granted, the Atomiswave is just Dreamcast hardware, so it's not hard for Sega to put it onto the system. It is interesting they decided to go with the Atomiswave versus their own Naomi platform. Now, why didn't this get brought over to Dreamcast? Well, it's a little bit too late, and I can't imagine this being a really coveted release that they're going to be able to sell for full price. This isn't something like Confidential Mission or House of the Dead 2 for the Dreamcast, where you're getting a lot more value for your purchase. But as far as a competitive, fun game to play with friends, I 100% recommend it. Like I said earlier in the video, I am very biased in favor of light gun games. It's one of my favorite genres, and I spend a lot of time and energy getting light gun arcade machines running in my house on my super guns, on my PVMs, and capturing them, because for me, it's something that just we don't get to experience anymore without the right TV. I mean, granted, you have things like PSVR, you've got, VR in general where you're getting a semi-light gun experience, and you even have stuff like the Wii mode on the Wii. But as far as pointing a light gun at a TV and playing, unless you're like me and you keep old TVs, old monitors, and old consoles around with the appropriate guns, this is something that's been lost in gaming. So to be able to play this on a Dreamcast and have one more light gun game available really is just awesome. And a huge thanks to MegaVolt 85 for being able to pull this all off. I always talked about wondering if it could be done, and he definitely cracked the code on being able to do it, and that is absolutely amazing. Short of that, we have a couple more Atomiswave to Dreamcast game videos coming up, but we are going to run out soon. Hopefully those last 4 games do get brought over soon so I can do a video on each and every one of them. But short of that, really appreciate you guys for watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. I'm always happy to chat with you guys and help if you're having issues running this game. But short of that, I will have a video on Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday, and then we'll be back next Wednesday with another Atomiswave to Dreamcast video. Short of that, you can just kind of finish watching me hit these barrels here, and we'll see you guys next time. And like I always say, just do me a favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe. Definitely helps us out. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.